You're listening to Barracks Talk with DV6, Google, Recoil, Marquis Davis, SRP, and Bonerwood.
And we're back to Barracks Talk on dvradio.net. Yes, I know the audio keeps fucking quitting, and I'm having to restart the server every fucking time. You can stop telling me. Honestly, I fucking know already. I've already fucking... I know. I fucking know. I'm fucking watching the goddamn thing right here. I can see every bit of it. Anyway, tonight, our guest is Joanna. Are you there, Joanna?
Yes, I am.
Sorry about that. I had to go on a little rant because I'm an asshole at times. Who are you and what the fuck are you doing on Barracks Talk? Why in the fuck would you want to come on this show? I mean, seriously.
Yeah, I'm wondering myself, you know?
All right.
Yeah, my name is Joanna, so I am currently active Army. I'm captain in Army, and I am a huge fan of your radio. That's probably why, and I'm just happy to be here and talk with you.
You're a fan? What is a fan? I thought that was the thing that you used when it got hot.
Yeah, sorry, I'm probably talking about my accent. So I sometimes my words are not very clear. I'm originally from Poland, and I just moved here to States about 10 years ago. I was in Polish Army for about 10 years before I moved here to the States, and now after a little break, I'm back to the Army, just different country.
Nice. What are you doing? What's your MOS now?
I'm 73 Bravo. I'm psychologist.
Oh, nice. So you can tell me what the fuck is wrong with the DVs here on the show.
Yeah, I think that would be taking too long to try to explain. I don't think we have that much time.
Go ahead, Rico.
That would take quite a bit of time.
Anyway, so you're researching hearing loss within the military and veteran community. Is that correct?
Yes. So I'm actually doing research on impact of noise in general on veterans, and looking not just on hearing loss. Like most people, when they're looking at hearing loss, they just stop on hearing loss. You lost your hearing, you have hearing problems, here's hearing aids, you're done, you're good, you're fixed. Or you have tinnitus and you have some issues and they're trying to say you cannot, they cannot do anything, but that's pretty much it. That's where they stop. Nobody so far looked at the impact of hearing loss on everyday life of people. How this impact their social contacts, how this impact their psychological functioning, how this impact their whole life. So this is pretty much the first study that is done to see how hearing loss and tinnitus impacts people in their everyday life.
Okay, so what do you need exactly? I know you said you were looking for people to participate in all of this.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so right now I'm in the gathering data mode. So I'm looking for people who were exposed to noise during the military service, which we all were at some point, just shooting the weapon or being around the noisy equipment. It's enough to damage your hearing for pretty much life. So I'm just looking for people who worked around the noisy stuff, and I don't really care if they have their hearing loss recognized by VA or they have some diagnosis or whatever. I don't care about that. I just want to hear from people who were exposed to noise and see how they function, what's going on. And I have some questions that ask about, how you hear different things. So that will help me to judge what level of hearing loss they have.
Yeah, I know me and Recoil and SRP and even Six have all talked about quote unquote injuries that stemmed from the military, whether it was like really serious injuries or just injuries that happened because of the jobs we done. And I know a lot of us worked around things like the dreshes and generators and stuff like that. And I'll tell you right now, a dresh, that damn thing is so loud, it's not even funny. We had one in Iraq for our DFAC because it would get in excess of 200 degrees in our kitchen alone, just cooking. So we would have to use, we had to have some kind of air going on. And that thing alone, it you could hear it on the other side of our cop. So, I mean, if it's that loud.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they're saying right now that the traumatic brain injury is the signature injury of this recent wars. But I really don't think so. I mean, hearing loss and tinnitus, right now, it's number 1 and number 2 disability according to VA. Everybody has it. Even, you know, everybody have some kind of hearing loss, even if they don't get percentage for that or they're getting paid. And everybody who are military have some kind of hearing loss just because we are all exposed to noise. There is just no way to avoid that. Nobody will be wearing hearing protection all the time because it's just, you know, it's just impossible.
Yeah, so it's people,
you
mentioned the Ear Pro. Yeah, I mean, every time our guys would go out on a convoy, all you ever heard was, you know, get your eye and Ear Pro. I'm going to tell you right now, if I get, like, shot at, I'm not going to be worrying about my damn ears. I'm going to be worried about getting shot in the fucking face.
Absolutely. And there was actually research done, well, survey more, about use of hearing aids or, you know, different kinds of hearing protection during the combat and stuff. And, like, about 80% of soldiers responded that they do not wear it because if they will not hear what's going on around them, and they may die just because they're trying to protect their hearing. So they're like, fuck it, I'm not doing it, you know?
Exactly. And
I totally understand.
Yeah, they do make ear protection, you know, that only contracts when it goes above a certain decibel. But still, I had problems hearing someone 2 feet to my right when I wore those.
Yep.
Those were some expensive pieces of ear protection. Now,
Absolutely.
How far have you gotten with your research? I know that I had actually dropped a post on the main TV wall. I think it was this past week, I believe. I can't remember, honestly.
Yeah, last Saturday. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I know you said you had some people contact you. Has that been going well for you?
Oh yeah, I got I got a lot of responses from people, and they were just fantastic. You know, I don't really know who responded because it's anonymous. I don't know who did, you know, who said what, but I looked through some responses. I have some places where people can just write what they're thinking about different things, and I have some really great stories. And this is, I think, the most important part of my study. One is just gather data, numeral data to have information what is going on. But the second is gather stories. So I have people telling me what was going on with them, where they exposed to noise, their struggle with VA and all these different things. And this is what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for real stories of real people. So when I will have chance to talk about this during, you know, conferences, during the DOD meetings, or hopefully with VA meetings, I'll be able to tell them what really is going on in the community and that they need to change their ways because, you know, this is real stuff that's going on out there, and they just ignoring this too much.
Right.
Well, I know you said you were looking at how this affects veterans in their everyday lives, and I wonder if it occurred to you, if you're looking into it all. You know, a lot of people look at tinnitus as, you know, a mild inconvenience, but for some, it keeps you awake at night. So now you're dragging your ass through your days because you can't sleep because you hear the tinnitus ringing in your ears all night. Is that something
Absolutely.
that you're looking at?
Well, this is one of the things. When you have tinnitus, well, first of all, it's annoying. You all the time have this noise, or most of the times you have this noise in your ears, and you just irritated. It's just like having a bug who is biting you all the time. You just pissed off all the time because this noise is in your ear, in your head all the time. So your temper is probably shorter. You're not willing to be in quiet places because then you can hear it more. But when you're going to places where it's loud, it's interfere with your hearing even more, so you are even more irritated. So really, there is no comfort place for you. Sometimes it's interfering with you being able to hear movie or just talking with people because you just can't concentrate on what's going on because you have this noise in your head all the time. So it's a bigger deal than just, having mild inconvenience. It's a major thing.
Now, Joanna, I know a lot of people go to these researches or get involved in these researches because of money, but your research is a little different with money. Could you explain how that works really quick?
Yes. So for me, anonymity, it was the number one. I know people don't like to, expose themselves, especially when this is like related to VA issues or disability or whatever. People are suspicious. They don't want to be recognized. They don't want to be called by name or whatever. So I put very big impact on anonymity. But if you're anonymous, I cannot pay you for research because otherwise I will have to have your email or I'll have to have some information to pay you. So what I did, instead of paying individual who is doing the research, I decided to donate money to some charity organization as a thank you for the time people spending on doing this research. So at the end of the research, at the end of the survey, everybody has an option to choose one of the 3 different charities they would like to donate money. And then I donate, when the research will be done, I will donate $15 per each person who completed the study to whatever charity they choose.
Okay, that's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was going to say that's actually awesome. I mean, you're helping veterans and service members for one, and then 2, you're going beyond that and actually giving to other charitable organizations that does the same thing. I mean, it's not too many people would have the head for that to A, think about it, and B, to even want to do that. I got to commend you on that, on both aspects. I
was just thinking in some way, I want to thank all these people who taking time to do this research. I mean, it's not, 2 minutes. It takes a little bit time to do it. So I just wanted to find some way to say, that I do appreciate their impact. I do appreciate their time. And this is just my way of, saying thank you to the community.
Right. Is there anything else that you'd like to get out before we let you go, Joanna?
I would say that if the one of the things that a lot of people who have some kind of hearing loss don't recognize is how much they isolate themselves from the community because, again, they cannot hear or they just don't feel comfortable in noisy places. So, I would like to start people to think about hearing loss, that it's more than just physical thing, that it actually impacts their everyday life, even communication with their families and different things. They're not as connected as they probably would like to be. I don't know. I just think that even through internet, when people can be connected with you guys and listen to you in their own comfort and their own volume, it's great of connecting people to each other. The isolation is the worst thing that can happen to anybody, and I just hate to think about how many people are veterans isolating themselves just because they just can't hear others.
Right. Recoil, do you have any questions? SRP, do you have any questions?
Do you have, or have you come across any audiologists that are taking interest in your study?
Actually, I did a couple of them. They actually, audiologists doing much better job in this area than psychologists. They actually started to do some research on access of people with hearing loss to mental health services and different things. So it is coming from actually audiology services more than from psychology, which is a shame in my opinion, but I'm glad that they're doing something. I would like to just connect this more and show that, there is an issue. and it's unrecognized, and it's a big issue, and it's about time that we start talking about this and doing something, not put all the resources into 2-3 the most famous disorders that are out there and just pretend that there is nothing more. There is more than PTSD, there is more than TBI out there, and it's high time to start recognize other problems that veterans have.
Yeah, and I do and I don't agree with, post-traumatic stress disorder being the biggest problem right now. I think the reason they're saying that is because more people have come forward than ever before. It's with any illness, honestly. It's just like autism. Back in the 80s, we had no clue what it was. Today, we know what it is, and there's more than ever than we could have ever imagined that have it. So, I mean, you sort of got to take it's the biggest problem as a grain of salt, you know what I mean, unless actual statistics come out. But I love what you're doing. I love how you're giving back and you're helping all at the same time. And I've never heard of a psychologist doing it.
Yeah, and I'm really, I'm really interested in what you're doing, and I hope that you'll come back and we'll be able to follow up with you later on down the road. Yeah, I
would
myself
love to. Just give me a couple months when I finish my, gathering data and I start working on the statistics and I'll have my results. I'll definitely let you guys know, and I would love to have a chance to tell you what did I find and what are the results and what really, bother people. I would love that. I think it would be great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of those guys. I'm in my early 40s and walking around with a hearing aid hanging out of my ear. And thank God it's not as enormous as what my great-grandfather wore. But,
yep.
It's not fun. I'm glad to have the thing. The first day that I had my hearing aid and I walked out of the VA and I could actually tell what directions the birds were singing from was amazing to me because I have bilateral hearing loss.
Mm-hmm.
But the tinnitus is a struggle. It never goes away. It never shuts up. It drives you crazy.
Mm-hmm. Well, thankfully, that now they're starting to develop hearing aids that they using some kind of volume of like white noise to cancel the tinnitus. So they are starting to work on some devices that actually help with that. There are also some kind of there's a type of therapy that helps with tinnitus, that it's not helping so much with physical side of it, but it helps you psychologically to adjust to this and deal with this better. So there are things that out there, but they're not very well known, not a lot of places actually doing stuff. And, it's just not many people don't know that actually there is something that can be done with this. They just suffer because they don't know there is a choice.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, the white noise was just sort of trading one annoying sound for another. But like a couple of the guys in our chat said, a lot of us sleep with a fan on, even if it's cold, just because the sound of a fan sort of helps drown that out.
And a lot of people sleep with TV on or some other noises because when they feel comfortable, this is, when you are in the military for years, you're never in quiet place. You're usually around noise, so the quiet is weird, so people don't feel comfortable in quiet places. But the second, it's helping with if you have tinnitus, it just helps you to sleep better because you have some background noise that helps with not hearing this noise in your head as much because you have some input from outside. So absolutely.
Okay, sorry, I thought Recoil was getting ready to say something.
the one time I'm not.
Well, I'm not the one that tries to talk over you all the time.
Right.
But yeah, Joanna, like Recoil said, this is great. It's amazing what you're doing. We do want to have you back after your research is either near completion or completely done, or both.
Yeah, sounds great. Like I said, I am a big fan of your site. I'm there all the time, so I'll definitely keep in contact.
That's great.
Even if you're finding you're not getting enough participants and you want to come back and hit up our little circle again and try and get more, that's we're here to help you out in any way that we can.
Yeah, like I said, I just need a little bit more people to take part, and I am done. Hopefully by the end of this month, I will be done with gathering data, so I can start working on my database. And like I said, that will take at least a couple of months, well, weeks. That probably will take me about 6 to 8 weeks to complete the statistics and all this stuff to make sure that everything is done, properly and everything is perfect. But yeah, I would love to share my findings with you guys, and like I said, I'm big on returning to community what community gives me, and this kind of research doesn't make sense if I just do it and put this in my drawer and just keep it there. It's not about that. It's making sure that this stuff go outside and actually do something good.
Yeah, Joanna, we really loved having you on, honestly. It's something I deal with. It's something Recoil SRP deals with. A lot of our DBs deal with. And any links that I dropped in the chat room on dbradio.net that anybody wasn't able to see because you weren't near a computer, those will be in the description. That is her Facebook page for noise research. And if you want to be a part of the research, the link is also in the description. Joanna, again, thank you. We look forward to having you back.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me. That was a pleasure. You were much more gentle with me than I was expecting.
Maybe not next time.
Maybe not. I'm good with whatever. I'm just happy to be there and just spread the word about stuff, because it's a big deal, and it just a shame that it's not recognized more widely by the medical community.
Right. Well, it was a pleasure having you on, Joanna, and we look forward to having you on again.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. You have a great night.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
See ya. So, yeah, that was Joanna. She is doing research on hearing loss and the impact of military veterans and service members. Recoil, I know, like you said, you have a hearing aid, and I suffer from the tinnitus in my ears constantly. I mean, it gets to the point it actually hurts at times.
Yeah, and it's interesting that from her perspective, that she's looking at it from a psychological standpoint, because there is a lot that goes along with hearing loss. It's that asking people to repeat themselves, and you always feel like an asshole, or just even sometimes just pretending that you heard something and doing the smile and nod, that's, yep. It's degrading and it's humiliating,
Yeah, me and you spoke about it. Mine's on my right and yours is on the left. And I mean, I have problems if my mom's on my right side. When she comes in here, I have to take my entire headset off and turn my head her way just to hear. It gets ridiculous at times. I mean, I'll be sitting in the doctor's office talking to the doctor, and I'm like, doing the whole left ear thing right up in his face.
Yeah, I will say that I am thankful for the hearing aid that the VA hooked me up with. It has made a tremendous difference in my day to day. I'm an avid hunter, and I love to archery hunt. And after I got home, the first chance I got to go out hunting, I realized, because I have hearing loss in both ears, but it's considerably worse in my left. I couldn't tell where a deer was coming from. I could hear them coming, but I couldn't tell where they were coming from. I couldn't tell if it was behind me, or it always sounded like it was either behind me or to my right, even if it was coming from my left, because my right ear was picking up the sound better.
I never could hear her coming, but you're right. Exactly. It's a problem psychologically. It's a problem emotionally, physically, and it takes a burden on you after a while, especially when it gets to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to reload a page, and I was making sure it was working right.
Did it work?
Yeah, we are having difficulties tonight, and we do apologize. The server sort of got made a little quicker than we really wanted it to, and we didn't get to test all aspects of it. But you will be able to hear everything on the podcast except for all the 15 minutes of dead air that you're going to have. So you're probably going to have like a 10-minute show when it's all said and done. And as DB6 mentioned earlier, we do have a DV Radio YouTube as well as a Dysfunctional Veterans YouTube. Both of them is up and running. We're trying to add more stuff to it as much as possible, whether it's news, farm updates, interviews, podcasts, merchandise coming up, merchandise already out, all that good stuff. Recoil, how's your week been going?
It's been going pretty good, all in all. Another 60-some hour week, and I have to go back in for another 8 hours tomorrow. But it was asked in the chat if I have the Bluetooth, and what I have is it's called the Resound Lynx is my hearing aid, and it's a tiny little thing, but it actually works pretty damn good.
Yeah, you mentioned what our grandpas had. I remember I can't remember if it was my grandpa or one of my uncles. He had the huge over-the-ear, looked like a fucking boombox on the side of your
right,
head.
squeaking and squawking and shit.
Yeah, it looked like something the Secret Service used back when they first got started. And today I've seen some. They're expensive, but they're the size of your pinky fingernail, literally. I mean, they just go right in there. I mean, the size of a ibuprofen pill, honestly. They're amazing technology. I'm not gonna gloat about if they're comfortable or not because I don't know, and I really don't want to know. I know a lot of people say they're great, a lot of people say they're not, so I guess it's just who you are. I don't know. Recoil,
what?
You want to put any input on that?
Sorry, I got sidetracked.
Oh, now you're getting sidetracked,
Right.
Yeah, DB6 and Google had to step out for a little bit to take care of some business. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, if you didn't already know, Disgruntled Vets, Disgruntled Discussions comes on every Wednesday at 2100, which is 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for all of those that like to mash potatoes. We did have Joanna on. Again, those links are in the description of the podcast. I don't know if Six mentioned it at the beginning of the show or not, because I was so busy trying to figure out what the hell was going on with our stream that I had to listen to him 3 times, and it was horrible. By that, I mean I had him up 3 different times listening to him at the same time. But next week's guest is Brian Burwell from Strong Point Thine Heart Ranch. STR is a place where veteran families and Gold Star families actually come together to strengthen themselves both physically and mentally, and to transition through life's changes, where they can reconnect with friends, family, and I think most importantly themselves, because it helps them to bond over a shared experience and participate in a wide range of activities amongst the natural beauty of the scenic mountains and open prairies of New Mexico. So that's Brian Burwell from Strong Point Thine Heart Ranch, Thine Art Ranch. I'm sorry, I can't speak tonight, and I can't say 98% of these words that people have me to say. It's a good thing I'm not a voiceover for adverts or anything.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah. I actually, I think me and Six actually spoke to him on the phone. I was on Skype. He was on the phone one evening, and the ranch sounds amazing. Like it said, veteran families and Gold Star families just go out there and they get to do, I'm guessing, because I haven't got to get into the depths of it, like little courses and a day on the range, perhaps, Sam Elliott-esque kind of stuff back in Western. So, but yeah, he'll be on
Sam Elliott-esque.
Yeah, he'll be on next week, which is February 25th. And did Six mention the event on April 30th?
Not that I recall, but I was doing the same shuffle that you were, kind of.
Oh, okay. Well, Sunday, April 30th, they're going to have a Vehicles for Veterans show, which is a basket case event hosted by NorCal Euro Society and Family and Friends Cars, which is benefiting the DB Farm. You can bring your car, truck, your motorcycle, and it's all to support a great cause. You can also win awards, and you can have some fun. They're going to have a push-up contest, and they're going to be at McClellan Park in Sacramento at the Megalot from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. I'll have the link in the description of the podcast, and I just dropped it on dvradio.net within the chat. We're going to have that guest on in a couple of weeks as well to explain a little bit more about what that is. But right now, we're going to go to break and see if we can figure out some more technical difficulties. I guess we may or may not have news tonight. I don't know. It's according if I can get this stuff pulled up. But you are listening to Barrett's Talk on dvradio.net. I'm Boner Wood. You've got Recoil here and SRP behind the stick shift of the technical aspect. We'll be back right after this. Or so I thought.
And we're back.
Yeah, SRP, that was your cue to cue up the break.
Freestyle, baby, freestyle.
Yeah, you can do that now.
Hello, I'm DV David and not from Microsoft. Gerbils got stuck in my vocal output virtual cord. Thanks a lot, DV6, you are a dick. Why in the fuck are all the hosts and listeners laughing? My electronic vocals are seriously screwed up. I'm highly offended. Please go to mydvstore.com and grab a mug, t-shirt, and some stickers today. Please. Then, I can have my voice sound normal. DV6 fucked it up by asking for Siri. Screw Apple. You are the reason we cannot have nice things.
Yeah, well fuck you.
Stop pushing fucking buttons, you asswipe. I am trying to promote our merchandise. Stop that shit. You need to get that service gerbil deeper inside your colon. It's not working, only giving you a dirty Sanchez it would seem. mydvstore.com, please. It would mean the micro world to me. Also, may I have a micro bite of bacon, please? Fuck this shit. If I had voted Hillary, then I might still have my normal voice.
Radio. You big dummy. When the president lies, it's not called a lie. It's called executive privilege. I'm Fred G. Sanford, and the G is for Guadalcanal. Want to see my diary?
Were you a veteran?
That's right.
Oh, did you see much action?
Well, only on leave.
And now, it's time to find out what stupid junk is in the news.
All right, I guess it's that time again to do this whole news thing. And there has been quite a lot been going on in the news in the past 2 weeks since, we didn't do last week's show due to unforeseen circumstances. All right. Well, let's just start with some of this fake news stuff. All right, people are so up in arms and so want to deal with everything all at once, and all this news is being reported that isn't actually real. So I have created some tips to determine what is and what is not fake news. Tip number 1, it's fake news most likely if Brian Williams picked up the story, because we all know how good he is at lying. Tip number 2, is there a protest planned? What I mean is, are people planning on going to protest something that they have heard in the news that probably isn't even true? Such as, this whole Trump hates women, there's all this immigration stuff that everyone's against, stuff like that. Tip number 3, who is outraged over this story? Is it the person reading the story, or is it the person writing the story? Now, if you are outraged by it, well, there's a good chance that it's fake. But then again, it could also be true. I don't know. There's just this and that, and then finally, what media outlet actually broke the story? Because we all know that there are quite a few that are not true. Anyway,
it's not fake news anymore.
That is it.
According to Donald Trump, it is now really fake news.
No, it's very fake news.
Oh, sorry.
And that's, CNN and MSNBC and NBC and ABC and I swear, there's so much fake news out there. It's ridiculous. Which reminds me, hey, Bo, did you finish making that meme I asked for?
What?
Did you finish making that meme I asked for?
Yeah,
No.
because I've been doing a million other things.
No, I know.
Damn it, Bo, you should be memeing.
I actually made her a meme today, actually, in 5 seconds. I pinged a picture and said, "Is this good enough?"
I know, isn't it great?
I actually laughed my ass off after I put the words on that picture. It looked even better then. I was like, "Oh, look at this little kitty laughing his little ass off," and then I put those words on there, and I was like, "Oh, this is perfect."
So, Bo, what I'm hearing is maybe we should put it on the DB radio page.
Well, I honestly cannot right now, but
Oh no, I'm aware.
Bonerwood is the Swiss Army knife of DV radio.
What was that?
I said Bonerwood is the Swiss Army knife of DV radio.
Oh man.
I'm not going anywhere with that one. I'll leave it alone.
My favorite
All
part's
right.
the spoon.
I'll couple your balls tonight.
All right, so the meme will be up on the DV radio page at some point this week. So if you're listening to the podcast, please keep on checking back over there. And if you're listening live, then please keep checking back over there. Okay, well.
So basically just everybody keep checking back over there.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. That's what it is. All right. Now, one thing that was discussed 2 weeks ago, and it's kind of funny, the person who started this conversation, in essence, considering she said some pretty ridiculous things, but she's saying that Trump should be impeached, and this is Maxine Waters. And I actually have a piece of a soundbite of her talking about Russia, of all things.
That's your USRB.
Putin and the Kremlin, and knowing that they have hacked our DCCC and DNC, and knowing that he is responsible for supplying the bombs that killed innocent children and families in Aleppo, and the fact that he is wrapping his arms around Putin while Putin is continuing to advance into Korea. I think that he is leading himself into that kind of position where folks will begin to ask, what are we going to do? And the answer is going to be, eventually, we've got to do something about him. We cannot continue to have a president who's acting in this manner. It is dangerous to the United States of America.
Right. So President Trump is dangerous to the United States of America, while Maxine Waters believes that Russia is invading Korea.
You know, if the Democratic Party keeps allowing these extreme, ignorant idiots to speak for them, well, maybe we would be right in assuming that they're all a bunch of fucking idiots.
Right? I mean, come on. She couldn't even think of Aleppo. Wait, who does that remind you of? What is Aleppo? Oh, that's right. that was one of the presidential candidates who didn't know what Aleppo was. Come on.
Oh,
When I
leper.
first heard that-
Isn't that somebody with leprosy?
When I first heard it, I wasn't paying attention to what was being said, and I seriously thought they asked what was leprosy. I'm not even joking. Like, I looked at my mom and I said, did they just seriously ask what leprosy was? And she went, I don't know. I'm confused right now. We were all confused by just what they said, and then that happened.
But just remember, we need to be very afraid of Donald Trump while, like I said, Maxine Waters doesn't know what country.
Yes, we should be afraid of a president that is actually doing most of what he said already.
Exactly. Now, this whole thing with General Flynn, all right, I'm pretty pissed off about it because what people fail to discuss is that back in January, the FBI reported that General Flynn did nothing wrong when talking to the Russian ambassador. But all of a sudden now, he has done something wrong, which I'm still not 100%. I'm still up in the air, but what's being reported, I sort of see as fake news because, come on, really, you've got intelligence officers leaking classified information that would look bad for our president. Oh, but we don't know who they are. Anyway.
What happens if you tell your girlfriend some fake news? Does that mean you just don't get spooned at night?
I know, right? I don't know. That's a very good question. Now,
I'm asking for a friend.
Now, there is another prominent Democrat named Nancy Pelosi. And when I heard this...
Pelosi the hosey.
When I heard this soundbite, I couldn't even believe that she said this. This is sort of based on a... What the fuck is this? On a fake Twitter account set up to be General Flynn's Twitter account in which he's being called a scapegoat. Now,
Wait. Before we go any further, how many times have you asked me about Twitter accounts and what was said on them, and I debunked it within 2 seconds?
Oh no, I know.
The sad part is people cannot go to Twitter with or without accounts and figure this shit out. That is the fucking world we live in, where they rely solely on what's on the internet and through the media. That's how sad this country has become. I'm sorry, I had to put that in there.
Well, it has to be true. It was on the Twitter.
Now, so someone set up a fake Twitter account for General Flynn in which he was called a scapegoat. Now, here's Nancy Pelosi explaining what a scapegoat is.
Scapegoat. You know what a scapegoat is? That means in a community where people want to absolve themselves of guilt, they get a goat and they heap all of the ills onto the goat, and then they run the goat out of town.
So we're now living in a Muslim community where they like goats from behind.
Sounds like every lower enlisted that ever served.
Right. So Google asks me to pull this clip, and I'm like, oh god, here's 10 minutes of bullshit that I'm gonna have to listen to. So I go over there, and it's 15 seconds of this, and I am dying, fucking dying. I had tears, I had to quit editing the show at that point. I could not work on the show at all. Until I got my eyes dried up. I was literally laughing so hard I had tears coming down my face. I've heard of some dumbass motherfucking politicians. Holy shit, man.
I thought it was hilarious.
Like, does she have dementia or Alzheimer's, or is she in like the fifth dimension? Like, what the fuck, man?
I don't know, but it was so funny. Look, we got to hear it again.
Scapegoat. Do you know what a scapegoat is? That means in a community where people want to absolve themselves of guilt, they get a goat and they heap all of the ills onto the goat, and then they run the goat out of town.
Okay, I guess it's not easily cued. Damn it.
I'll have it in the podcast. How's that? I'll edit it back into the podcast.
It's just so funny.
This is going to be great for YouTube, because the shit that I'm going to put in during that fucking... You guys give me a week and I'll have that YouTube fucking video fucking amazing.
Oh, man. It's going to be great. All right,
I'll even throw in the screaming goat just for laughs. For shits and giggles, I'll have the screaming goat going... Ah!
Oh, man. All right. We'll go to some real news now. Missing Army drone from Arizona found in Colorado.
Must have been the Walmart kind.
A $1.5 million drone that went missing from an Army installation in Arizona was found in Colorado's mountains on Thursday afternoon. The drone, this is actually not this past Thursday, last Thursday. The drone disappeared while on a training flight on January 31st at Fort Huachuca in southern Arizona after it lost connection with a ground station. We are very fortunate that we had a lot of great folks to help us find it, and there is a kind of a happy ending to this story. Now we'll take a look at what caused the aircraft to go all the way to Colorado, said Tanya Linton with Fort Huachuca.
So they had the Ferrari of drones and can't figure out what the fuck happened.
Well, the luckiest part is that it didn't land in the middle of a mobile home.
Well, it went from Arizona to Colorado, right? So I'm surprised that it didn't end up in a bud shop, honestly.
I have a feeling it got a little too close to Area 51 and it got beamed up.
Well,
ask Bill Nye, the science guy. He'll tell you right now that whole alien debacle, it's bullshit. But he did work at Area 51, so he's probably going to get killed if he says it's real.
Well, not only that, but Bill Nye is bullshit.
I can't say that about everything of Bill Nye. I would like to argue that point, but I'm not going to.
Right?
He's coming to Netflix, by the way. Sorry, continue.
Troops from Fort Carson in Colorado Springs were helping with drone recovery in the foothills near Evergreen, which is west of the Denver metro area, on Thursday afternoon, which is where they found the drone. So it didn't just go to Colorado. I mean, it went to Evergreen, Colorado.
John Op4 said the drone had a VA appointment.
Nah.
The training in Arizona was being conducted with the 14th Brigade Engineer Battalion from Joint Base Lewis McChord in Washington State. So they brought the drone from Washington State down to Arizona to test flight it?
That sort of makes sense, seeing as how most of Washington State has nothing but fucking redwoods. Oh yeah, let's put this $2 million fucking drone in the air with all these fucking redwoods.
Well, I mean,
it obviously
they might have been better off.
I was going to say it obviously didn't work out for them because it fucked up with them anyway. So I bet the drone pilot had his hands in his pockets. How much you want to bet?
The drone was found by a hiker, by the way.
I bet he was smoking some nice weed, too.
The drone was found by a hiker in the Bergen Park wildlife area, and the drone was missing a wing. So
was he wearing Birkenstocks, too?
I don't know.
Because if it was found in Colorado, it might have been Deacon.
And the Shadow, which is the drone, is a short-range airborne reconnaissance system that can fly about 134 miles, and it weighs 450 pounds.
Holy fuck! It weighs that fucking much? And it made it that fucking far on its own?
Well, considering it says it can only fly about
it obviously wasn't
34
a Dependa.
miles.
It definitely wasn't a Dependa, being 500 pounds, cost almost $2 million, and make it that fucking far by itself.
And it was probably fully armed.
Right?
And I mean, the drone was found like fucking 600 miles away.
It's like some maximum overdrive shit.
So they're trying to they're currently investigating how the drone made it to Colorado.
Recoil, don't jinx the state that I live in again, please. Every time y'all motherfuckers say something about North Carolina, some bullshit happens the day after. It never fucking fails.
All right, moving right along. Drug dealer whose sentence was commuted by Obama is back behind bars. A Texas man whose life sentence on drug charges was commuted by former President Obama is back behind bars after cops caught him with more than 2 pounds of cocaine following a high-speed chase.
That's all?
Robert Gill, 68, had been imprisoned in 1990 for cocaine and heroin distribution before Obama set him free along with other nonviolent federal inmates in 2015. During his 8 years in office, Obama commuted 1,700 prison sentences, which is more than any other president. Anyway, back to this guy. Gill met a person who gave him a black backpack that he placed in his vehicle, and a sheriff's deputy in an unmarked car tried to stop him. But Gill took off and, after a high-speed chase, collided with another vehicle where deputies were able to disable his car. Officers found the cocaine in the backpack and put him under arrest. Yep.
Sorry, I missed most of that because I was talking to other people, like my mother.
It's okay. And his lawyer made a statement and said, "I'm so disappointed to hear that he got arrested again."
Me too. He was doing so good, and then he got caught with that 2 pounds of cocaine, and he just couldn't stop. He was going down the freeway. He said he wanted to be like Johnny Depp and go to Las Vegas.
Exactly.
He should have been like Thelma and Louise and drove off a cliff.
He's seen bats, and he just kept going.
So for anyone who supports refugees coming into the country, that is not a problem. Although I do think that we need to continue this temporary hold on refugees from 7 countries, especially after a liberal teacher takes in a refugee and his colleague finds what's left of him.
You refugeeist.
Yep. A leftist professor decided to put into practice his own liberal open doors policy, feeding and housing a poor Muslim refugee in his own home. However, when his colleague showed up to find out why he wasn't at work, he found a stomach-churning trail that's enough for anyone to abandon their progressive, multicultural beliefs. A high school math teacher from Seoul, a city near Hanover, Germany, foolishly bought into the propaganda that Muslim asylum seekers can be won over with Western hospitality and tolerance. Mehdi Hushmand was not only popular with his students, but he had become an active volunteer in the refugee movement.
Does it count as the Western influence if the country is north of you? I'm just putting that out there.
I don't know, but apparently this guy is.
I could understand if it was like Japan refugee that he was bringing in, but it was.
Hey, what's geography got to do with this?
Apparently nothing, according to this fucking news story.
Oh, man.
His Western influence, even though he lived north of the man. Fuck me, man. Holy shit. It's a good thing I'm not a fucking news reporter. They would fucking fire me the first goddamn day.
You give them a day?
We're sorry. You simply can't tell the truth on our network.
That's exactly what would fucking happen. Exactly what Recoil would say. Did say, like, I would start reading the teleprompter. I would go off that fucking teleprompter and just look into the camera.
Well, you know, I wouldn't be able to do it either. I talk too fast, supposedly. All right, newlywed 76-year-old shoots wife in the ass for no sex.
Now, was this before or after he took the Viagra?
I don't know. I don't think it said. He's only been married 7 months, but there's already trouble in paradise for an elderly Lee County, Florida man who was arrested for shooting his wife for lack of sex. Donald Royce, 76, confessed that his sex life hasn't been ideal, which made him pick up a gun in his room and shoot his 62-year-old wife in the ass, according to a Lee County Sheriff's Office report. The frustrated husband said their marriage still hadn't been consummated, even though they've been married since August. The bickering bride and groom's roommate told police that she heard two gunshots coming from their bedroom. She rushed in to check on things, and Royce pointed the gun at her. She talked him into putting the gun down. An ambulance picked up the victim and took her to Lee Memorial Hospital with wounds to her hip and ass.
But did it work?
Well, I guess they're not having sex. So.
At least he did get to shoot a load of something off. That's all that matters. And in her butt, nonetheless.
Right? And Royce did confess when the cops arrived, although he said that he was aiming for the mattress.
That's a lot of porn stars' excuses as well. I meant to hit the mattress. It just hit her in the face. I'm sorry.
Right. But he hit the broadside of a barn door, huh?
Right.
All right.
If we weren't going to hell before, we certainly are tonight. This coming from a guy who does not believe in religion.
Now we all remember the gorilla. The gorilla,
smoke 'em while you got 'em.
Now we all remember the gorilla Harambe, right?
Yes, because I actually had someone say I had my tits up for Harambe, and when I put up the tits up for veterans thing on my page, she was all like, "I am so totally for this. Just hit me up." And I was like, "Okay." Like I had no clue what to say.
But
I didn't
did it work?
expect any response from that.
Oh, that's good.
What was that, Recoil?
But did it work?
No comment.
Well, apparently, a Cheeto sold on eBay for $99,900, and it is shaped like Harambe.
I seen that article before you even sent it to me.
Yep.
Best thing ever. I thought the Jesus toast was fucking bullshit.
And there is actually a picture associated with the article that shows Harambe and then the Cheeto.
You want me to tell you about stupid shit on eBay and how many people fall for it? I'm not even going to fucking... I'm not joking. I'm not telling a lie. This is pure truth. I can get my friend to come and vouch for me. We put a sport up on eBay and said the first ever sport touched by Jesus Christ himself. We put it up for $1 bid. I shit you not, it got 15 hits in about 10 minutes.
You know,
we had to pull it off because it was false advertising, but yeah, that happened. I'm not even joking. We were in high school just fooling around. That actually fucking happened. I didn't think anybody would go for it. Apparently people are stupider than I originally thought, and I said stupider, yes.
Of course. Well, the listing on eBay said, I opened up a bag of Flamin' Hot Cheetos, and as soon as I looked inside, I came across this unique Cheetos that looks like Harambe the gorilla. This item is one of a kind. It measures up to 1.5 inches in length. This item up for bid is only for this unique Cheetos, bag not included. This makes a great collectible for anyone who appreciates rare items.
I should have got that for my girlfriend for Valentine's Day.
I wonder what the purchaser will do with the Cheeto.
Well, I mean, it's a Cheeto. It's Harambe. You can't go wrong.
So you're saying the person who bought it for $99,000 is just going to eat it?
Did those words come out of my... See, now you put shit in my mouth. Now, come on now.
You eat a Cheeto.
I would eat a Cheeto. Did I say I would eat that Cheeto?
I don't know. You said it's a Cheeto.
It's
Harambe. Anything goes.
Anything goes.
I mean,
you know, she told me that one time, and I got a restraining order the next day.
All right, and we'll round it out with this one. Pet squirrel goes nuts on burglar. It is kind of a cute story.
Wait. A squirrel going nuts is cute?
Mm-hmm.
On somebody.
It's kind of a cute story.
Okay.
So you've heard of a dog protecting the home, but what about a squirrel? It appears an alleged would-be robber didn't stand a chance against Joey the squirrel.
Sounds like that squirrel got into the Recoil's throat just now.
Yeah, sorry about that.
All right. Adam Pearl walked into his Meridian, Idaho home Tuesday and realized something didn't seem right. He said, I came in the front door and, well, I saw snow prints out in the front driveway going to the back of the house. So I thought something was awry because no one usually goes around the yard. Goes through the yard. Sorry. Adam was immediately greeted by his pet squirrel, Joey, when he got home, but then he started noticing a few doors were open. After making his way to the back bedroom, his fear was confirmed once he started looking at his gun safe. And he said, I'm sorry. And I started looking at it and saw the scratches that are around the locking area, and at that point I knew somebody was definitely in here messing around. Adam called the police, and when Officer Ashley Turner came out to take a look, Joey just had to say hello. During the investigations, Joey had run in the bedroom just screwing around like he always does between her legs and kind of startled her, and she says, "Whoa, what was that?" "Ah, don't worry, that's just Joey, my pet squirrel, you know." And I said, well, he usually doesn't bite, but you never know because he is a squirrel. So, you know. Anyway, the squirrel chased off the burglar.
Well, the whole thing sounds a little squirrely to me.
I just think they went completely fucking nuts with the whole story.
This is not the first story where someone has a pet squirrel, so
I can't believe a burglar was afraid of a squirrel, honestly.
I don't think squirrels are all that scary, but I guess when they're house trained and are there to protect the home, they will attack.
Did anybody see the meme that John Op4 put in the chat?
No. Is it a squirrel meme?
It's white gorilla. It's a white gorilla, and it says Honky Kong approves of your shenanigans.
Nice.
The face that fucking gorilla is making right now. That made it all worth it.
Fuckers.
You big dummy.
Man. Alright, that's all I got for news. Sorry.
What?
I know.
We still got 10 minutes of the show left. What the fuck?
What?
What?
Actually, I think we're supposed to have more, but I lost count because I was busy trying to figure out our technical issues.
I covered all except one. And I didn't think the one was very amusing, now that I think about it. All right, I guess we'll go for it.
How's everybody's favorite bucktooth llama doing?
It's an alpaca. His name is Bucky.
What the hell is the difference?
Between a llama and an alpaca?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Haven't we gone through this before?
I haven't.
Well, for the listeners that are just tuning in and never listened to DB Radio on dbradio.net or Barracks Talk at the same location, or by searching DB Radio on the TuneIn app, could you please let them know, Google? Hey, it's cheap advertising.
Besides, bucktooth llama has a better ring to it than bucktooth alpaca.
Well, the difference is all in their fur and their...
I mean, you wouldn't have called the Dalai Lama Dalai Alpaca.
Oh, man.
Grammar, people, grammar.
If it's brown, is it a fudge alpaca?
Huh. Is it packing?
Oh,
wah, wah, wah.
I know, that's just not going anywhere.
Right? I forgot to mention earlier while I was mentioning all of the other shit that I was mentioning. Fireside Chat.
That's good.
You're an asshole. You're horrible, Google. But Fireside Chat is every Tuesday at 1500, which is 3 p.m. Eastern Time. It's Deacon Taylor. We are going to have more of his shows on streaming, I should say, each week, as well as disgruntled discussions, as you all know. And for those who don't know, we will be having Barracks Talk reruns starting not yet. I'm just saying it will be on Mondays between 1600 and 1800. Or what time is that in potato masher time?
4 to 6.
There you go. Eastern Standard Time again. As soon as we get that set up, we will put out a big thing on the Facebook page thing, that Book of Faces thing. What's it called again?
Facebook?
Facebook. And that Twitter. We use that from time to time as well. If you want to know where the show and music schedule is, you just go to dbradio.net and click here for schedule, or click for schedule, something like that. I don't remember the graphic I made. I just remember I put something about a schedule and click, and yeah, hopefully not too far away we're going to have a Music and Mayhem night. Not night. Fuck that up, Bo. Go ahead. Promise them a fucking night of Music and Mayhem. That's what we need. Yeah, all of us trying to pull out fucking 10 hours of fucking talking. That's us, isn't it? But yeah, we'll try to have a Music and Mayhem in the near upcoming future. And I'm still working on the Veteran Made Music block. Trust me, it takes time. You all think we can just press a button and it works, but that's not how this works. That's just not how this works. So,
okay.
Bo just talked his ass off and nobody said anything.
Well, because the last time I said something, you got mad.
Oh, you mean when you interrupted me while I was trying to put out pertinent information?
I would like to give a big shout out to all the moderators that work our various social media platforms, in particular the Dysfunctional Veterans Facebook page and the DV forum at dvbarracks.com. Those guys are awesome. You guys all know how busy I've been lately, and I've been extremely limited, if not non-existent, and those guys have really stepped up to the plate. They make decisions when decisions need to be made, and they're getting the job done, and I just couldn't be more thankful for them.
Hey, Recoil, speaking of the DV forum, which you did mention is at dvbarracks.com, for those who may not know what that is or how to sign up, do you want to tell them real quick how to do that?
Yeah, dvbarracks.com is a forum that we created off of Facebook because we noticed a lot of people would comment or, have a little bit of fun in the DV fuckery, and the next thing you know, grandma's on there telling them, I can't believe my little Johnny's talking with that kind of language. So in any case, we created the forum, which is off of Facebook. So you can head on over there You can either use your Facebook account to create an account, or you can use an email. And then once your account is created, you can go to the top right-hand corner of the screen, click on your profile picture, and you can change your profile name to any call sign that you want to use, change your picture to any picture that you want to use, and you're free to roam around the forum. There's a lot of good shit over there. The peer support section is absolutely phenomenal. It's all brothers and sisters looking out for each other. You know, the been there, done that guys are helping the guys that are just going there for the first time, and so on and so forth. And it really has been amazing. It's not a lightning fast grower, but we're in the thousands now, and it's doing really well.
Yeah, I put up something the other day or Six did on the main wall of dysfunctional veterans on Facebook, and someone decided to comment that they are tired of the liberals and blah blah this and blah blah that, and that everybody follows them around and knows everything they're doing. And I was like, look, go to the DB Barracks, DB forum at dbbarracks.com. And the guy got all pissy about he didn't want to use another platform, but yet he doesn't want anybody to know what he's doing. Look, we get it. Facebook, it's not the best place to air your laundry or to have fun at times. But like Recoil has just said, the DB forum is the place to let loose and do quote unquote what you want, when you want, how you want, and say what you want whenever you want. It's the DB place. It's just for you. It's built around you, for you, with you. Did I cover all the bases, Recoil?
I think you did.
Good. As we mentioned earlier in the show, we do have a Dysfunctional Veterans and a DB Radio YouTube. All you have to do is go to youtube.com, search Dysfunctional Veterans or DB Radio, and that will pop up. As we mentioned as well, we will be adding videos as much as possible, i.e., merchandise upcoming, sales, interviews from various shows like Barracks Talk, any shows we have in the future, and just random ass fuckery that we want to put together and throw on there and make you go watch a video for no obscene reason except you have nothing else to do. If you have it already, go to facebook.com, search Dysfunctional Veterans or DB Radio, like and share the page. Trust me, it's what you want to do. That sounded stupid, didn't it?
And here you guys were complaining that there were still 10 minutes left of the show, and I can't believe that you're done with the news already.
Well, you know, I'm pulling this out of my ass, right? Well, not this. I pulled the... Anyway, go to
Fuck,
Twitter.
I haven't said anything in the past 10 minutes.
Bullshit. Anyway, go to Twitter. Follow us at DB_DB Radio. You can also go to Instagram and look for Dysfunctional Veterans. DB6 likes to put up random shit for no obscene reason as well. I don't know what it has to do with anything 90% of the time, but for some reason you all like it. If you haven't already, go to Podbean, which you can go directly to dbradionetwork.podbean.com, or you can download the Podbean app on your iPhone, smartphone, Android, whatever the fuck you kids use today, because I'm still using a fucking flip phone, and yes, I get called a dinosaur for using it. I don't have this cool fucking gadgetry that you kids have. Anyway, did I leave anything out? I left something out. I know I left something out.
Don't forget that according to Nancy Pelosi, the Russians are attacking North Carolina.
Fuck you. I do not want a goddamn Red Dawn in this fucking state.
Listen.
What will it be? Tar Heels! Assimilate. Yes, again, we do apologize for the technical difficulties. As I said, we had to throw this server together really quick, and we didn't get to test all the aspects. But hopefully we'll have it up and running flawlessly for a live show next week. If you missed anything tonight, and you're not... if you missed anything tonight, you're going to listen to it on the podcast, obviously.
Right. If you missed anything tonight...
We started 10 minutes late, so we got to end 10 minutes late. We're trying to gyp them out of 10 minutes.
Right. I'm not gypping anybody out of anything.
If you missed anything tonight, you're right in line with all of the hosts.
Right in line with what?
All of the hosts.
Oh.
That's good. I'm sorry. That's good.
He's not lying because I missed a shit ton of stuff that DB6 at the beginning of the hour that I probably repeated like 15 fucking hundred times. Because I asked Recoil and he's like, I don't know, I was doing the same shit you're doing. I'm like, fuck it, I don't know. Just say it again, fuck it. Reiterate it, fuck it. Make it stick in these assholes' heads.
That's good. That's good.
Next week. Again, next week, which is going to be February 25th, right here on dbradio.net at 2100. We're going to have Brian Burwell from Strong Point, Thine Art Ranch. And in a few weeks, we're going to have Sherry Brooks, I believe her name was, on for the event for Vehicles for Veterans, which is happening Sunday, April 30th at McClellan Park in Sacramento at the Megalot from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Recoil.
I just want to thank Joanna Dezura. I wish I could pronounce that properly. Hopefully I did, for coming on the show. I really appreciate the work that she's trying to do. If you guys get a chance to go over and fill out her questionnaire and help her out, it would be greatly appreciated because she's looking out for all of us. Other than that, as always, be safe and keep looking out for each other, fuckers.
Google, do you have anything else? Sorry, I was typing.
No.
Actually, you do.
Oh, wait. Just remember who the sources of the news that is being reported.
That's not what I meant. I meant the store. I meant the pre-orders that are going on right now.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. I forgot.
After I made all those catchy graphics and every damn thing.
Oh, man. I know. All right. So we got pre-order zipper hoodies on the DV store at mydvstore.com. Although, if you're listening to the podcast, it's too late to pre-order. So, yeah. Last day is tomorrow, 2/19/2017.
That's right. That is mydvstore.com. Get your pre-orders zippered hoodies before the sale ends Sunday, Monday. When did you say?
Monday. Well, Monday. 2/19 is the last day to order, really.
Right.
After that, I got to take them offline. And we are working on a clearance section on the website, so stay tuned for that. I'm sure that DV6 will throw something up on the main page as soon as that goes up.
Yep. And if you haven't already, go over to mydvstore.com and check out the DB Farm coin and the DB Farm coffee mug. All those proceeds go directly to the DB Farm to continue the mission that we are doing there, providing the veterans with their needs that come there. If you need more information about the farm, go to dbfarm.org. The application form's on there if you or someone you know may be interested or need that. Yeah, I think that's all, guys. You think so?
I think
Good
so.
evening.
Yeah. Marquis wanted us to do a joke about him tonight because he's out again. I think that's the only reason he keeps missing shows is because he wants us to make jokes about him.
Last I heard, he was having a hemorrhoid removed with a shovel.
Well, when he told me that his throat was sore, I was like, yeah, you've been using somebody else's pole, but he never answered me.
Oh, man.
I don't know. I mean, he is a residential black guy for DB radios.
Man.
But that being said, for everybody here, DB6, Google, Recoil, SRP, and Marquis Davis, who is not here, you have been listening to Barracks Talk on dbradio.net or by searching DB Radio on the TuneIn app. We are sorry for all the technical difficulties. Again, hopefully it will be resolved by next show. I am Boner Wood. You've just heard Barracks Talk. And, we'll be back next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
DB Radio.